Hey guys,
Hey guys.
what's up? Me and Leo are back.
Yeah.
We got Chella and Aiden here.
the verdict, right?
The verdict,
That's the
yes.
name. That's a pretty
We
cool
actually
name.
decided on our name. So, welcome back to the second episode of The Verdict.
Mm-hmm.
Chella, what are we talking about?
Music, specifically rap music.
I don't like rap.
Well,
Not that much.
okay. But rap can be like whatever you want it to be, though.
It's extremely
True.
diverse. You will
True.
find several things.
But true.
Like Leo with his rap the other day, just like
Yeah.
that could be rap too.
Sure.
Me saying yeah. all the
Probably
time
bad
is
rap.
I guess.
Or you could be like what's his face, Mr. Gucci Gang guy. That's all he says.
What?
Lil
What's
Pump?
his name?
Yeah, that
Lil
guy.
Pump. There you
Oh.
go.
Lil Pump.
Okay, why are like?
Okay, but is that really rap? Because have you
Yeah.
there's a bunch of Lils now, and I don't know if that's music
Bunch of Lils,
anymore.
I like
Like,
that. Bunch
but
of Lils.
why, okay, my question is, why are they all named Lil whatever?
Little baby, little.
Lil Baby, Lil Nas X, like Lil Pump, like.
Okay, but Lil Nas X is trying to go country now, so
True. He's been country though.
that is not a country song.
Which one?
Which one?
Old Town Road. It's not a country song.
It's considered country in the
It's
genres.
considered country, but if you look at
really-
at
yeah.
country music, it's really not. The only reason why
Well-
they considered it country is because of Billy Ray Cyrus.
That's true.
Mr. One Hit Wonder.
Nah, he's only famous because of his daughter.
He's only famous because he had one good song.
And because of his daughter.
Well, his daughter,
Both.
Both daughters, Noah
Yeah,
and
his
Miley.
$2.
Yeah, Noah Cyrus and Miley Cyrus. That's the only
No.
reason he's famous.
Noah Cyrus is the
Who's
one that got
Noah?
with Lil Xan, and they had a supposed baby or something like that.
Yeah, again, all the littles.
That's how Juice died. He had a drug addiction. Apparently, he was addicted to drugs and he had a seizure because he didn't have drugs.
Damn.
Yeah.
It is a shame though how all these artists are dying young. You know,
I know.
I'm not really a fan of the category or whatever you call it. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, they are people. You know.
And they obviously had an influence of some sort.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
right. But
It's just crazy because it seems like it's more often now. Like I feel like we notice more
It's
of
like
our
everybody
generation of
is,
music
like,
just
dying.
dropping.
Dropping like flies. It's like actually kind of sad.
it is pretty sad, right? And then
Like we lost
most
Mac
of
Miller
it-
last year. That was whole situation.
He died because
Yeah.
of drugs, right? An overdose or
An
something.
overdose.
Most of these are either like overdoses.
It's
or, like,
because
gang violence.
these young artists are getting addicted to drugs.
That's
And
what's
they're, like,
happening.
no-
There's no way.
Depressed, and
Well,
they're
obviously,
trying
there's
to-
no way
Because
around it. Like that's
I mean,
what it is.
like if you think about it, that's how they fit in. Is drugs.
That's how
because
they- yeah.
because they
that's
tell
the
their
whole
story,
thing.
but then they also tell their story about
Them using
them being
drugs.
on drugs all the
Hip-hop
time.
is
That's
very,
mostly
like,
what rap is about. nowadays.
Yeah,
Rap
exactly.
and hip hop, both of that is like just
they talk about three things
drugs,
in music:
drugs, and drugs.
money, drugs, and girls. That's it.
That's
And
yeah.
being sad. You can't. It's,
Oh, and depression. Yes.
Yes, depression that they
All of
probably
the-
That's
don't
probably
have.
not a great mix. Depression, money, and drugs.
It's
Right. It's
really
Sounds
not.
like-
Depression and drugs in general is not a good
Right.
mix.
yeah, it's
Then you rely on it.
Yeah. Life
Yeah.
sucks.
This got dark really
Life sucks,
quickly.
like,
I
Yeah.
was trying to say like let's do something more lighthearted, but this is fine.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
I mean, awareness, right? You gotta.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah,
Gotta
don't do
understand.
drugs, kids. I mean, it's,
Yeah.
it's no joke, especially when you're sad and you use it as like a way to cope with something. Then that's how you get addicted.
That's
And
horrible.
like Juice
But
WRLD
you
was
see-
like so big, so I feel like
Yeah.
people, like
You're
kids
crippling yourself
at the
doing
school are gonna like listen and be like, wow, maybe like
Yeah.
drugs like aren't
I hope
good.
so.
I hope that that's what happens. I mean,
Because-
I hate
Okay,
to
but you
see
also got to think
rappers
about like
die,
these
but-
rappers are talking about drugs and how they're always high and stuff. But then like I mean, you have teenage listeners, so they're gonna be like, oh well, they do
Right.
it, and they're not that much older than I am because the young rappers are what like 18,
Like
20,
20,
Yeah.
20,
yeah.
They're
mid
20s.
20s max
Yeah.
their peak.
I mean, Juice is
And-
like 20. He just like
He
just
turned 21 December 2nd, or yeah, I
Yeah.
think. Don't come at me, okay? But then yeah, like you have all these young people listening to you, and then they think, oh well, they're not that much older than I am, so let me do drugs too, and then
Right.
that's how you have.
But then I think when these like rappers are like dying, I feel like the kids are just realizing now that it's like,
Yeah.
whoa, they like died because of something that
that I think is fun to do.
That I think is-
I've been influenced
Hopefully
to do.
it shows that no one is exempt from this, because I mean you can be as successful as like a rapper but still.
And I mean, like,
Yeah.
if y'all remember last year, like when Demi Lovato overdosed, like she's been dealing with drugs since she was on Disney Channel.
You know,
And
Robert
she's not
Downey
a rapper.
heroin,
Robert
right?
Downey-
RDJ had a big drug problem.
Yeah,
When he was
But then
younger, he had a
When he was
big,
younger, he had a big
problem.
drug problem.
but it's like it's not just rappers either. Like,
It's
There have been several celebrities,
I
like
think-
big
I
time
think-
celebrities
yeah.
who have died from drugs.
I think that these rappers talking about drugs is not good, because then you have, like, it makes it socially acceptable to be like, oh yeah, I just did that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It becomes
Yeah.
more. I don't want to say like.
Yeah,
I don't want to say good, but like it becomes more
accepted or more common.
more
Like,
more
oh,
normal.
It
Desensitizes it.
yeah,
It
that exactly.
Prince died from drugs.
desensitizes
Also,
it.
Michael Jackson, right?
No, Michael Jackson.
No.
Oh wait, no, he
He didn't overdose, but he was like they gave him the wrong medication, I think.
Whitney
well,
Houston,
Yeah, that doesn't count.
yeah,
Amy Winehouse.
yeah. Amy Winehouse was a big
Yeah.
one.
See, but
Michael
And like
Jackson.
it's been happening for like ever, and like I feel like nobody's really realizing it until now.
You see,
Well, to
but
be fair,
honestly, I don't
we've been
think
alive
that
for some
Juice's
time.
death is gonna make people realize it either.
Yeah,
I think
'cause-
because there's so many artists talking about drugs. Like you can be like not a Juice WRLD fan or not a Lil Xan fan. Like I was saying, like the rappers are dying from doing too many drugs or getting addicted, and then it's mostly teenagers. Like there's a lot of teenagers that just move on to the next artist because they feel like they connect with them when they just.
When they're just
Like their
listening
music.
to music.
See,
know?
but also it's like, where does it end? Because if you're like rappers shouldn't rap about drugs, then it's like, should movies show violence? You know, because it's like it's a thing that happens. I think as a creator, you're talking about your own personal experiences, and it's not like they're saying, well, go do drugs. They might be like, oh, it's kind of cool, but also it's like it's weird to put a limit on someone's creative work, you know.
I just feel like it's gotten.
It's gotten out of hand.
It's gotten, for lack of a better term, dumber. Like music used to have so much culture and so much. It's just
Like-
they used
like
to talk about so many things.
Like you could tell like the old music they thought about what they wanted to write about.
Like-
and now that
There's very few artists who like actually think.
like
About
you,
what they're
if you
writing.
listen to like the rap now, it's all the same stuff. It's all about them being sad, losing their friends, like in violence and all that, and like they go to drugs. Like it's all the same stuff. It's all the same. It's like
Yeah.
it's like they go off a template. Like okay, so you got sad, you turn to drugs. Now
Yeah.
you're making it, and now you have problems.
But do you think that they all kind of like, I guess, rap about the same stuff because they know it's gonna be like a big hit, or do you think that they do it because that's like
yeah.
their life?
Definitely, because if it wasn't a big hit, they wouldn't be able to sell it. It wouldn't.
Sure.
All these songs wouldn't be about popping pills and throwing down and like stuff like that. It wouldn't be about that. It wouldn't generate around that. But I do
Right.
feel like that's also their fault at the same time. Because if you keep generating that kind of music, you're going to keep telling us it's okay to listen to that kind of music. You're going to be telling us that this is what we should be listening to, this is what we should be learning from, instead of showing that like we could talk about something more important. Like we could talk about things
Yep.
going on in society and how to actually deal with it. And you know, there were so many artists that used to create actual music that talked about actual things. Like yeah, a lot of it was about struggle, but they did struggle. Like people struggle. It's life. You can relate to that.
Yeah.
Sure, but how is that any different than like a rapper struggling with depression and drug usage? You know.
But how do you know that they are struggling with that?
You really don't until
because
they die.
well,
but like
You don't until they die.
Yeah,
And that's the
exactly.
sad part about it.
I don't necessarily like that type of music, but I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, you know, where it's like, oh, you know, that's
Okay,
their life.
But like you see these rappers that are rapping about like depression and doing all this, but then like if you go to their social media, it looks like they're living a happy life. Like, I mean, like I know I get you don't always see it, but like sometimes they're posting like this big wad of cash with their big old house.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
I don't think if you were really depressed like that, I don't think you'd be so. I don't think you'd be showing off what you got.
Well, so social media is like, it's like a highlight reel of a person's life. You know, they're not necessarily gonna post them crying in their bed, you know, eating ice cream or whatever.
They could only post the good parts, and nobody would know.
Yeah, and besides,
until they're dead and until their cause of death
it's not
comes
like
out
money
saying,
makes you ultimately happy. It does help, you know. You don't have to worry about paying bills and such, but it doesn't ultimately like give you pure happiness.
Well, not even just that, but social media, people lie. It's a mask. People use it to show the good parts and leave out the bad. Like, you know for a fact that most of the people we have on social media aren't going to post about someone getting in a car accident or, you know, the fact that they're struggling right now or that they can't do this and they can't do that. And that's things people have to be careful about because, like, you have to realize that you don't just want to post the good because then people don't know the bad. I'm not saying you should post both, but...
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Yeah, but you're right in saying that a lot of music today, you know, it kind of glorifies drug usage.
I think what I'm trying to say is it promotes making these songs about serious stuff, and then what it can bring you. It can bring you all this money, all this fame, these big houses. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. You're saying that people make that type of music just to like get rich?
Yeah, honestly, because like if you listen to different people, it's all pretty much the same exact stuff.
Sure.
all the same kind of rap.
It's all of them losing their friends or something like that, something sad, and then they get a drug addiction.
And they wrote a whole album about drug addiction, and then
they realize what they've done, and then they get depressed, you know?
Yeah.
They realize what their life has come to, you know?
And then I think that's what is turning them to the drugs and alcohol. And my thing is why is like the age of when these rappers are like dying? Why is it getting smaller and smaller every time?
Like,
No, go ahead.
I feel like that's a what's the word, millennial thing, because we feel like we can handle the world. Like
But
people
the
put
thing
their
is,
it on their
we're not
shoulders.
millennials.
Yeah,
They're
But
not either.
you gotta think about
Most
it
of them aren't
too.
either.
You gotta think about it too. These people are young. They haven't lived the full life yet, so they probably don't know how exactly to live. So they're like they're young.
Influence. It's social influence. They see
Like
it.
they're like pop stars, I guess. Like I mean, they're traveling, so they're probably not taking care of themselves properly.
Yeah,
and doing all these. Doing so much drugs, like if they're not taking care of themselves, then of course, they're gonna die young.
Yeah.
to get rich and famous at a very young age, but I feel like that could take
Comes with a lot of pressure,
a
too.
toll
I
on
think
someone.
that's dangerous to be rich and
Yeah.
young.
Yeah,
Famous, rich, and young. It's really not a good mix
Not
because
probably, yeah.
It always
What
seems
she
to come down to
said.
drugs too, right? Like whenever they're young, it always seems to be drugs. Like that they come to when they
Drugs,
have all that much money.
All of it.
Yeah.
I think you have a point where it's like as young people we see other people dying around us, but it doesn't really register that we could die. You know that like, for example, a rapper like one too many pills can like kill them, and I think we have this false sense of invincibility where
It's like, that happened to them. That's not gonna happen to me.
I'll
But
die at an old age. You know, it doesn't matter.
we could. All of us
Yeah.
really could just die right now.
Exactly.
If the universe really wanted us to, we could.
Yeah.
I see a common factor with like music nowadays versus music back then. Because it's like, okay, these people that are famous now, they're famous for a hot second and then they're done for forever. It seems to be a common thing with all the rappers. They're all famous right now and then they stop being famous. They make
They have
an
like
album.
a good year, two, and then that's it.
But the ones that we used to have, they lasted years. Like they're still in our
Mac
society
lasted
now.
years, but
Yeah.
then
Who?
Mac Miller
Oh, Mac Miller.
lasted
Okay.
a while, and then
Yeah, he died.
he died last year. But Juice WRLD, I feel like wasn't maybe like a year or two, max. When
He
was,
didn't even really get
popular.
I would say super
I think he
big
had one
in it.
hit song that I remember. I don't even know the title of it, but
It was probably Lucid Dreams.
that one.
Yeah.
I think that was the only song of his that
I think that's
actually
what
know.
blew him up.
That's what blew him up, and then I think after that he got all the success and fame, and then
Money.
Yeah,
yeah.
but
And then
that
maybe
is
he did
kinda-
get sad, and then maybe he did turn to drugs. We don't know. I've never met him. We don't know him personally, so
Yeah.
we really can't. judge and say that something happened when we don't know.
But yeah, it is kind of crazy how. So this latest one was Juice WRLD, and then before that was Mac Miller, right?
I believe so.
I don't-
but
And then before
There's
that
a
was
bunch of other
X,
rappers.
Oh,
right?
Nipsey Hussle.
Nipsey Hussle died too.
That's so crazy that all these.
But he was, not that he was old. He was 33, but that's still young. But it's at the same time,
Yeah, I mean,
it's still young
Yeah.
for someone, you know?
compared to like the age you're supposed to die, which is like 70,
Yeah.
80. Yeah.
But-
I just think it says a lot about I don't want to be that guy, but it says a lot about our society.
Oh wait, yeah.
But when
Be
is
that
it
guy
gonna
because
stop?
True.
Yeah.
My thing is, when are people gonna realize that
It's a problem.
stuff is going on and they're just immune to it? I guess at this point, when is that gonna not be a thing anymore?
I don't know.
When are gonna people wake up and realize, dang,
I think,
that kid
honestly-
was 21 and he just died?
I have high hopes for humanity, though.
See, I've known people that have had a drug addiction and died, and it's so weird when they're that close to you. Like when they're
Yeah.
celebrities and they're people you don't know, it's like, oh, whatever. Like I don't know them. Like why does it matter to me? Like in a really bad way. That's what it
Right.
is. But you just have to realize that like they do this anyway. It happens everywhere.
I think we can end on drugs are bad.
Don't do
Don't
drugs.
do it,
Don't do
yeah.
drugs.
Do
kids.
not do drugs.
Drugs can lead to,
Drugs
Death?
are terrible. Yeah.
yeah,
addiction.
drugs can lead to pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Bad,
I feel like they
mostly.
further depression and other issues.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
They make everything worse. But
You're blacking out with that one.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Well, thanks for listening to the second episode of the podcast. Hopefully this gets out because I think this was a very good conversation.
I think yeah.
Me too. I agree.
Yeah.
But bye guys. We'll see you guys
Alright.
probably next week. I think. If not, when we come back from break.
Have a good one. The verdict out.